Hey everybody, Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I am picking back up where I left off. It was a beautiful day today in Japan, November 3rd, 2023. I'm not sure what holiday it is, but a lot of people are off and it seems like everybody's out on bicycles, walking. A lot of people walking their dogs this afternoon. A lot of people at the park, a lot of people going to different festivals of different kinds. It's a very nice day, so I wanted to get out there and walk around and enjoy some of that. But I also wanted to get back to the game. So let's see, where were we? We were trying to track down this cat, which we were able to pet. Not really pet, but at least we didn't make it run away from us, but it still walked out of the room and left us by ourselves. So let's see. We'll give you a bird's eye view of the board here. Make sure I got the camera lined up okay. So we've got Agatha Crane over here ready to check out this search token. And then we've got Joe Diamond. I think we searched this already. This one should be gone. That was where the whispering was coming from, the china cabinet. We decided not to stand there and listen to it. I don't know. I didn't want to go insane listening to what it was saying. And we opened it up and there were just some words scratched on the inside of the cabinet door telling us to get out. So maybe there's some force here that doesn't want us to discover what's going on. So I think I'm going to start with, moving around the wrong screen. I think I'm going to start with Agatha Crane. By the way, my rest of my family may come home at any time and interrupt the game. So if that happens, I'll need to cut this short. But we're standing right in front of this. Let's have Agatha check it out. This is her first action on the turn. It's a portrait of the victim. Let's search it. The framed pictures document rare moments in the deceased's life from boyhood to adulthood. You notice the deceased is missing his right arm below the elbow. Well, that was true with the chalk outline as well. But something else seems strange about the photos. Well, Agatha, I'll pull the other camera around here just a little closer. We'll get here, zoom in here on Agatha. Agatha has an observation of 4, so she's pretty good at that. Let's break out the dice here, see how many successes we can get. She's out of clue tokens. She doesn't have any. Complete failure. We don't have anything to manipulate that roll. You cannot discern what bothers you about the pictures. I guess we're going to have to keep looking. Another action. Let's try this again. Going with the house rule of 3 actions per investigator. Oh my gosh. All right, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this again. So this is a disaster here. 1 success. Wow. So I'm going to hit confirm on the 0. I'm going to hit that I chose it again. And then I got 1 success. Not good enough. Wow, a whole turn blown. Accomplishing zip. That's how it goes sometimes with dice games. makes me want to drink that whiskey. Well, let's go over to our private investigator. He's up there. Let's see where he is. He's this is the dining room. There was a door here. He can go into the kitchen. He's already got a wrench, but I wonder if the bladed weapon might be better. What was this over here on the side? This door is decorated with wrought iron vines. I don't know if I want to blow an action going through there. Let's spend an action to move. And we're going to move 2 spaces. We're going to be right here in the kitchen. So 1 action, we're going to move 2 spaces. We're in here with the barricade and the meat cleaver. Let's spend an action. We're going to pick up this meat cleaver, and we'll add that along with our wrench. That's 2 movement. Let's spend 1 more. We're going to move over here. That's where I think it was cookies. We're going to stand there in front of the cookies, and wow, that's already the end of the turn. Didn't do much there. Quick turn. Very little happened. Joe Diamond squints against even the weakest light, and pain in his head throbs in time with his heartbeat. We need a strength check, and we need to get a 1 or better. His strength is 4, so we'll roll these 4 dice. And we got 1 success. I mean, that's enough, but these dice don't seem to be rolling so great. If he passes, the headaches are just a distraction to work through. So, just a distraction. He's all right. Back to the investigators. Well, let's head back to their character sheets. I'll give them back their tokens for their actions here. Joe Diamond's got his 2 clue tokens. Agatha spent hers already. And he did have a face-down horror, but thankfully he was carrying the Bible and read some passages from there and was reassured and comforted, so he's doing okay. I think I'm going to start with him, spending 1 of his actions, and we have a large jar of cookies has been left on the counter. Really? Eat a cookie? Smash the jar. Let's eat a cookie. You pull 1 of the cookies from the jar and are pleasantly surprised to find it is your favorite kind. You reflect on how even the strangest places there are good things that can happen. Become focused. All right. I'll continue reading that in a second. Let's get my man focused here. Good old cookies will do that. Wrong stack, I think. I was in the item stack. I think focused is good. You can discard that to turn those potential successes into successes. So thank you for the cookies. You consider taking a few more for later, but when you glance at the jar, you notice a disc that has been hidden in with the cookies, and it drives away the thought of sweets. The disc has a strange raised up lines on the in the shape of a star. Gain the cult sigil unique item and discard this search token. Okay, well, that's it's going to be in here. The cult sigil. That's probably a unique item. Yeah. All right, I don't think it's going to do anything for us. I'll take you to the other camera here. Just evidence of some kind. So we'll put that in our pocket or something. So that was our first action. Search token's gone. Cookie is eaten. Let's spend another point of movement. We'll move back over there where the barricade was. Well, the barricade's not in use. And let's go to this explore token here. This leads to the backyard. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open it up. All right, so we're standing here. We are exploring this way. And I think we found this area, and maybe a tool shed or something there. So let's take a look at what it says. The lawn behind the mansion is surprisingly overgrown. A high stone wall shuts out the rest of the south side. And in the middle of the lawn is a tool shed. Discard the explore token, place the root cellar tile and the tool shed tile. And a wall as indicated. I did put the wall. So what's next? Explore token there on the door to the root cellar. All right. Hundreds of nails have been driven into sturdy planks of wood. So the doors have been boarded over in excess. So we'd probably need a tool or something to get through there. Search token, what do we have? It looks as if something is written on the wall that does that closes in the estate's grounds. Okay. And something has been dropped in the grass. Ooh, a 45. That's an odd thing to leave in the yard. And another explore token right there at the tool shed. I bet we could get a tool out of there, maybe. And what do we have? Another... I guess I didn't quite place that tile correctly. Let me adjust my board here. All right, I think I rearranged things. I needed to shift that over a little bit because there's something down this way. So we need to put one of those there. What does it say? The green of the backyard gives way to overgrown flowers toward the side of the house. Place a site token. You can move one space. All right, so if we do that, that'll put us out here in the yard where there is a 45. So let's see, what did we do now? Cookie jar. Move. Did we do the cookie jar this turn or last turn? I think it was last turn. So what do? We moved and we explored. Right, so I think we do have one action left. So I'm definitely going to pick up the 45. Let's take a look at it on the other camera here. It's a firearm. It'll do 4 damage. I think this is the best weapon I've ever picked up in the game so far. I've only played, I guess this is my 3rd time, but that's pretty nice. I'm out of actions for Joe, so we need to go to Agatha. Agatha is down here. I know there's a bit of a glare there. She's near the search token, so let's go to the program. Wrong window again. Sorry. They're the same. Search token, search token. There it is. For her first action, maybe we'll do something with this A large portrait of the victim. Right, we were checking this out, and she's going to search that again. She's had some bad rolls here. Let's see if we can do any better this time. 4 dice for her on observation. Some really bad rolls before. 3 successes there. So that's more like it. You realize 2 things at once. First, that the deceased has been missing his right arm below the elbow since he was a toddler. And second, that his parents became conspicuously absent by his teenage years. By then, he appears to be wearing an amulet, the same amulet his mother wears in the photos from his childhood. The painted portrait of him in his older years also has the amulet rendered in loving detail. The amulet depicts a wave motif surrounding a green stone. A raised detail in the shape of a star has been added to the amulet in later photos. Gain the photographic evidence and then discard this item. Alright, so we've added the evidence. It doesn't do anything outright. It may be useful later somehow. So that search token's gone, I guess. Action number 1 is spent. I wonder if the cat went north. So let's check out here. Let's explore. The library is filled with row after row of shelved books. A bright, cheerful reading lamp is in the corner. Let's get the library tile. All right, got the library. Discard all explore tokens leading to it. Then the books come whirling one after another towards your head. Oh boy. So kind of some poltergeist action here. Books are flying off the shelf and trying to smack us in the head. We're going to have to make a dexterity check here. That's not really what we're good at. I got 3 in that. That's no successes. That's 3 face down damage from the... Wow, from the flying books. It's face down damage. Face down damage is always better than face up. Alright, so I'm just going to pick kind of 3 at random here. And her health or stamina or whatever it is, hit points, she's only got 5, so that hurt. Search token in the corner. And by the way, I think this was her second token use or second action. The shelves are now almost completely empty of books. Perhaps you can figure out what happened. And on top of the mountain of fallen books, one looks useful. Place the medical textbook there. The medical textbooks, as an action, you can discard 1 face down damage. So that's pretty cool. We've got the Bible and a medical textbook. Okay, so I think we have 1 more action. No, there's something else in there. Though most of the library has been sufficiently upset, the reading area seems to have survived relatively unscathed. An old scroll there catches your eye. Place the shriveling spell as indicated. All right, we've added that. Oh, the cat. He's back. The cat grooms himself on one of the library shelves. So he was in here when all those books were flying. You may move 1 space. So we're in there with the cat. one action remaining for her. I think she's going to spend it to pick up the Shriveling spell. That gives her both Wither and Shriveling. So that's going to end it for the investigators. A keening wail comes from beneath the floor. The voice of an elderly man whispers in your ear. It calls for help. Escape before it is too late. Each investigator suffers 2 face-down horror. Well, we need to make some horror checks here. Her willpower is 4. So let's roll for Agatha first. 1 success. So she will take a face-down horror. And she'll gain a clue token because I think we've just... Is that not right? Is that a horror check? May not be technically considered a horror check. Horror checks may come from monsters, so maybe she doesn't get that. I mean, it certainly seems like that's what it is, but I don't know if it's technically called that in the game. Let's see how Joe does. Evidently Joe, I guess, can hear this too. His willpower is not quite as great. He's got 3. 1 success, so I think he's going to gain one of these as well. That's his first damage card. All right. And we're back to the investigators. Well, as we start with the investigators for the next round, I think I'm going to have Agatha maybe make use of her medical textbook. And she can discard a face-down damage. So let's do that. I'll put that on the bottom of the stack over there. Then, I don't know whether to mess with this cat again or not. I am in the space with the cat, so let's spend a second action and interact with the cat. The cat grooms itself, a silvery key, a low rumble of purring. We're going to try to... Should we try to catch the cat? I feel like that's agility, and I'm not so great at that. We befriended the cat already. I don't know what would happen if we attempted to do that again. I hope it's not just a wasted action. Let's go ahead and try it. I really don't know how this is going to go. So second action is to befriend the cat. Our influence is 3. Two successes. I think that's considered pretty decent in this game. The cat finally allows you to pet it, and while scratching it just below the chin, you take the opportunity to slip the key from the collar's ring. For a closer look, gain the silver key. Great. Yeah, I was afraid we were going to have to, chase after this cat, and it just wasn't going to go well. So, silver key added to our inventory. The cat moves from under your hands and runs off through the house. With the key secured, you let it go in peace. We'll discard the cat token for now. Don't know if he'll be back. All right, one action left. Let's go ahead and spend our last action to move in there where this search token is, but we don't have an action remaining to do anything about it. So let's head over to Joe. Joe's going to spend an action reading from his King James Bible. And we're going to discard our face down horror. Then what is Joe going to do? We're in the same space as the explore token. So for a second action, we're going to explore that tool shed. The door to the shed is shut and a rusted lock is looped around the handles. Well, rats, I was hoping to get something to break locks. Let's try to explore it anyway. Rusted or not, the lock is not too sturdy. You'll have to... Wait a minute. The lock is too sturdy to break it off. You'll need to pick it. It's going to be an observation puzzle. Okay. We can move things around 3 times. We do have a magnifying glass, which allows us to add an additional die while resolving an observation test. I wasn't sure when I was playing my previous session of Escape from Innsmouth if that would work with puzzles, but it seems like it would. So I don't think I allowed it to work last time, but maybe this time I'm going to allow it. I mean, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? You got a magnifying glass and trying to move things around carefully. I don't know. But let's see what we can do. I'm not sure exactly what to do. I feel like maybe I'm supposed to get this gray piece into this slot over here. Maybe? So we can move that. Does it slide down? It doesn't slide down. Does it slide over? It doesn't slide over. Okay, so some things can move and some things can't. What if we slide this one up? That's 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. There we go. Okay. So the door gives with a quiet cracking noise. The tool shed is dusty, full of moldering boxes. Discard the token. There is a search token in there. A battered journal has been left on the floor. And there's all these guns. There's a 38 in there on the floor. I mean, I'm not complaining. It just seems a bit odd. All right, so a 38 revolver on the ground. A sledgehammer. Well, a sledgehammer might be useful to break off those boards that are on the root cellar. So we'll put that in there too. And move 1 square. So we will move into the tool shed. All right, so that's 2 actions. I guess for my last action, I will pick up the sledgehammer. We'll add that to our inventory. And I think that is it for our investigators. Yep, what happens? The strange giggling in the mansion suddenly stops. The balmy air of summer turns suddenly into a chill so cold that you can see your breath. The sound of static fills the air, and an old man voice filters over it. You are not welcome here. So one face-down horror. Willpower will negate it. I guess we got the camera on Joe. We'll let him go first. His willpower is 3. It's just one horror. He got a success, so he is okay. How about Agatha? Agatha already has a horror card. And she got a couple of successes there. So they're both okay. They resisted, I guess, resisted the horror of that voice. Oh boy. The front door of the mansion creaks open and a robed figure steps inside. I has come as you commanded. I will stop the meddlers. Spawn a cultist. All right, well, let's get the cultist. All right, here he is. He's going to go at the front door. So that's right here where we came in. And what does it say? The cultist moves 2 squares to be as close to as many investigators as possible. Well, he's way up there, so that's a bit far. I would say since there's a door here, he might move 2 spaces directly ahead, because this way, 1, 2, yeah, he's going to be closer right here. So he's going to march 2 spaces in, and he's on the other side of the door here. Range does not go through doors, so he cannot move to be within range. I think range is like 3 spaces, but it can't be through a door. So does he move 2 more? He might be doing that. If that's true, then he's going to move into the room with Agatha. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against a monster within range. So that's Agatha. Let's do these horror checks. Resolve a horror check. This is for Agatha. The cultist raises a hand, and one of your items transforms into a deadly viper. We need to make an observation roll. Hers is 4, I think. Yep. Two successes. So I think we're good. Well, if you pass, you disregard the pitiful illusion. That was a horror check, so that means Agatha can receive a clue token due to her ability. And that may be it. Back to the investigators. Well, as we start the new turn, Agatha is right there with the cultist beside of her. And she is kind of trained in the ways of the occult as a parapsychologist. And she's got a couple of spells available to her. I don't know if it's good to cast these spells or not. It looks like Shriveling will do more damage than Wither. But I think, doesn't this magic always come with a cost? Let's attempt an attack with a Shriveling spell against the cultist. So let me refresh her action pool, as I'm playing with the recommended 3 actions per investigator. We'll go to the app and choose the creature, and we will attack it with a spell. You bring the heels of your palms together and draw them back in a ball of glowing energy coalescing in your hands. You speak the words of power that power the curse. You need to make a lore check and get 2 successes. Well, let's see, Agatha. Lore is 5. Quite strong there. That's 3 successes. So she's done that. If you pass, you thrust your hands forward and energy streams from them. The monster suffers damage equal to the spell's damage plus your test result. Then move the monster 1 space away from you. Well, that's good. So he's going to take 6 points of damage. And that eliminates the cultist. So I don't think this is done yet, is it? Didn't you need to turn these over? The spell works exactly as you expect. Aside from all the blood, no additional effect. Discard, and gain another Shriveling spell. Thought I just heard the car pull in the driveway, so maybe some of the family's coming home. I may need to take a break here.